Hey folks, Levi here once again. Welcome back to another video. I know I was going to do my favorite movies of 2015 next, but I want to put that on hold for a bit. And I figured today, since it's the best time, I wanted to do 2 reviews today. Well, one's requested, but this one I just want to do, I'm going to call it a random review, because I really wanted to review this movie. I watched it. It's such a good movie, with a good cast and very good direction, that, you know, after watching it like 3 or 4 times last year, that I really enjoyed this movie. And I just wanted to review it on my channel, so, you know, I wanted to give it a review, so here we go. And today, for this random review, sorry if I'm a bit nervous, just been off YouTube for a while. And today, no, I haven't. Ugh. Yeah, my review was last week, sorry. Today I'm reviewing the 1997 romantic comedy film directed by James L. Brooks, and starring Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, and Greg Kinnear, and Cuba Gooding Jr., and that is a film called As Good as It Gets. Yes. I don't own the movie, so that's the only thing I can show you. Yeah, As Good as It Gets. Really good poster there. Yeah. Like I said, the film is directed by James L. Brooks. He's directed other movies like Terms of Endearment, Podcast News, I'll Do Anything. He's also been a writer and a producer on some movies. He was a producer on Big, which stars Tom Hanks. He also produced Say Anything, I think, with John Cusack. And he also produced Jerry Maguire, starring Tom Cruise. And he directed this movie, of course. And he directed Spanglish, which I did review that's starring Adam Sandler. And he wrote and produced the Simpsons movie, which I still need to see. And he did, you know, The Longest Daycare, The Age of 17, and Playdate with Destiny. He's done some television work too. None that I've ever seen. Taxi, which I've heard of that show. I think that was with Danny DeVito and the late Andy Kaufman and Christopher Lloyd. Never seen it, but I know about it. So, yeah. But I have seen Big and Jerry Maguire, and I enjoyed those movies. Another film he directed that, like I said, I enjoy Spanglish. That's a really good movie. I reviewed that on my channel. He's a very good director. It's a shame that, you know, he hasn't directed, you know, he should have directed a lot more movies in my opinion. Yeah. Now let's get into the making of the movie, as I do with my reviews as always. In 1996, James L. Brooks flew Geoffrey Rush from Sydney to Los Angeles to audition for the part of Simon Bishop and offered him the role, but Rush declined it. Owen Wilson served as associate producer, one of his first jobs in Hollywood. Wow, on this film? You kidding me? Wow, I didn't even know that. Oh wow, he was an associate producer. Owen Wilson? I can't believe it. Like, wow. Well, because I know he was in, before this, you know, he was like, I never seen Ballwater, but I've seen The Cable Guy and Anaconda, and I like those movies. Well, he was Robin Zaid, and he was Anaconda. He played Gary Dixon in that movie, so, but his character gets eaten in that film. So I was like, wow. It was one of his first jobs in Hollywood. Wow, I didn't even know that. The movie has a really good cast as well. You have Jack Nicholson as Melvin Udall, Helen Hunt as Carol Connolly. Jack Nicholson, you know, I've seen him in, like, of course, Batman '89, you know, The Joker, where he played the Joker, and he was in The Shining, you know. Jack Nicholson is one of the best actors of all time, in my opinion. He's a great actor, can't go wrong with him. I watched A Few Good Men yesterday, and that's still a great movie. You Can't Handle the Truth, I just love that line when he says that in the movie. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, I need to see that still. I think he did that movie with Danny DeVito and Christopher Lloyd. Yeah, but he's done a lot of movies. I think he was in The Departed. Yeah, Jack Nicholson has done a ton of films. So, Helen Hunt, I know her from Twister. I know her from that. Oh, she's still a beautiful woman. Castaway with Tom Hanks. What Women Want, I've seen that. Pay It Forward, Soul Surfer, Bobby, I've seen Soul Surfer. But yeah, she's done quite a few movies too. She's a good actress. Greg Kinnear, Cuba Gooding Jr. Well, he's done Boys in the Hood. I grew up with a movie he did called Snow Dogs. Saw that movie in theaters. He was in What Dreams May Come, Rob Williams, Outbreak. He was also in Jerry Maguire, which James L. Brooks produced, like I mentioned. So he's worked with him before. Good actor. And back to Greg Kinnear. I've seen him in the underrated superhero movie Mystery Man, when he was really good. And he was nominated for Best Supporting Actor for his role as Good as It Gets. It's a shame he didn't win it. I don't know if he won it, though. I think I've seen him in You Got Mail. He did a voice for the 2005 underrated movie Robots. He's done TV roles like Friends, The Kennedys, Modern Family. Yeah, good. Oh, he was a talk show host, and his film role debut was in Blank Man as a talk show host. He did a voice for Beavis and Butthead Do America, but he's uncredited. Like I said, Mystery Man as Captain Amazing, Lance Hunt. Yeah. But he's another good actor. I think he did a movie called Ghost Town. Movie 43. Oh gosh, man, we'll talk about that. Yeah. Maya Rudolph as policewoman. Maya Rudolph, who has done many comedies as well, like 51st Days. I think she was in Grown Ups 1 and 2 with Adam Sandler. So, Bridesmaids. She has just an idiocracy with Luke Wilson, who was actually Owen Wilson's brother. Shirley Knight as Beverly Connolly. Jesse James as Spencer Spence Connolly. Skeet Rich as Vincent Lobdell. Yeardley Smith. Luke Ontress. Harold Ramis is in there. You know Harold Ramis from Ghostbusters, and he's directed movies like Groundhog Day, the National Lampoon movie. Yeah. We also know him as Egon, from Ghostbusters. The Ghostbusters from some of the originals. The only great Ghostbusters films, in my opinion. And of course, he directed Caddyshack. I miss Harold Ramis, Yeah. And he directed Bedazzled with Brendan Fraser, which I enjoyed. Multiplicity with Mal Keaton I thought was alright. Skeet Reach, I know him from, I just know him from Scream. And also, Jamie Kennedy's in this film. I'm like, the year before this they did Scream, they were Randy and Billy, so I'm like, wow, I kind of noticed that now. Julian Betts, Tom McGraw, Brian Doyle Murphy, who was Bill Murray's brother. He's been in a few movies as well. Jamie Kennedy, he did Melody Was Wanted and ruined his career by being in some of The Mask. Yeah. But Woody Harris, no, not Woody Harris, Wood Harris, Missy Powell, and Jamie Kennedy. Yeah, okay, yeah. But a really good cast. Like I said, the film is directed by James L. Brooks. It's produced by James L. Brooks, Bridget Johnson, and Christy C. Screenplays by Mark Andrus, James L. Brooks. Stories by Mark Andrus. The music is by Hans Zimmer, who was, people him doing this music score for the Dark Knight trilogy, the Pirates of the Caribbean series, Interstellar. He's always worked with Christopher Nolan a bit, Inception. I think he also did the music score for The Lion King. Yeah. And he's definitely one of my favorite composers. And cinematography is by John Bailey, edited by Richard Marks. Production companies are TriStar Pictures and Crazy Films. The film was distributed by Sony Pictures Releasing. It was released December 23rd, 1997. It's 139 minutes long. The budget to make the film was $50 million, and at the box office it made $314.1 million worldwide. So the film was a hit. The film was a success. And the film was nominated for Academy Award as well. Critics enjoyed the film. And Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, they got Best Actor and Best Actress Academy Award. They won, and they deserved it. Again, Jack Nicholson, Critics' Choice Award, he won Best Actor for that. And the movie won a couple other ones, which it deserved. Wow, I didn't know it won so many Academy Awards, but I'm not going to read that, all that. I'm not really into the Academy Awards. I I don't need Academy Awards just to tell me what a good movie is, but that's just me. Because all I care about is the movie being good, you know. That's all I care about, but that's just me, folks. Alright, to the plot synopsis real quick, over in 10 minutes. Yeah. Got my Darth Vader. Yeah. Got my Darth Vader cup, which I always like using in my reviews with a water taste. A little fucky. You know, I said fucky, not F. You know, sorry. Okay, what the movie is basically about, the plot synopsis is, Melvin Oldham, played by Jack Nicholson, is an obsessive-compulsive writer. He has he's obsessive-compulsive disorder. He has like an issue of locking his doors all the time and not stepping on cracks when he walks on the sidewalk, just staying away from people. And he can be, at first he does, well, I'll get more into that, but that's what his character's like in this movie. He's a writer of romantic fiction who's rude to everyone he meets, including his gay neighbor Simon, played by Greg Kinnear. But when he has to look after Simon's dog, he begins to soften up, and if still not completely over his problems, he can conduct a relationship with the only waitress played by Ellen Hunt, at the local diner who will serve him. And yet, during the movie, Melvin kind of has to learn to be a better person. He begins to fall in love with Helen Hunt in this film. He becomes a better man. But we'll get more into that during the film. Sorry. Darn phone. Okay, well, the movie opens up. Well, hold on. Let's get to the film itself. When the movie opens up with Melvin, of course, watching Adele. I think that's the dog's name. I forget the dog's name. The cute dog. And him and his dog don't get along. He hates his dog. And he's like, let's go to the bathroom. Let me get you to the bathroom. And he's trying to hold the elevator. Dog won't listen. He's like, don't you use the bathroom. No, you peed your last piss here. And then he throws the dog in the garbage chute, which I'm sure the dog doesn't get hurt. And of course, Greg Kinnear, who's his gay neighbor, is, looking for his dog. And he's like, and then he kind of insults him. He's like, I don't know where your dog's at. Like I said, he's mean. Like the movie says, he's pretty much mean to people that he meets. He's like, I don't care where your dog's at. It's not my problem. And he always says words that can be really offensive too. And he's like, I'm sure you will find the little pup. You gotta love that little pup. He's like, no, Greg Kinnear says, no, Mr. Udall, you don't love anyone or anything. You don't love anything. And he's like, oh, okay. And goes back to doing his writing. And of course, Bill Murray's brother brings up back his dog because they're having a party. He's like, well, we found him in the garbage chute. Somebody's doing down there. I'll say, neighbor did it. And of course, he goes to accuse him. Cuba Gooding Jr. does not put up with his BS. He kind of just walks around Greg Kinnear, just walks over him and is being doing, lets him get away with it. And he's like, don't ever interrupt me again as I'm writing. I don't care what's happening. I don't care if the world's coming to an end. I don't care if this is happening. Don't interrupt me. And of course, Cuba Gooding Jr. comes up to Melvin and is like, don't do that again. He really beats him up. He's like, help, help, freaking out. He's like, black guy's attacking me. He's gonna, get me. At first, Melvin does come off a bit. Well, I think he's racist at first as well. Like I said, he's a mean asshole in this movie. Because as soon as the movie opens, this lady walks out and sees Melvin. She's like, oh shit, or she says, because people just don't want to be around him. And like I said, Melvin, the way he walks in the street is, he doesn't want to step on the cracks. You see him locking his doors, washing his hands certain ways. I don't know if he has OCDC as well, because he doesn't want to walk on the cracks. He's just like, oh, everybody off me, And he goes to the restaurant every day, which this restaurant has Carol, played by Helen Hunt, who is a mother. She's also not just a waitress, but she's a mother whose son is sick. And, Melvin comes to visit her every day, and he'd be a bit of an ass to people. He's very rude. He makes some jokes about this couple being Jewish, and of course, insulted, they leave. He's like, I got him to leave. And he's like, he tells her what he orders usually. He's like, she's like, one day you're gonna die from that, And he's like, well, you know what, you'll die, everyone dies, I'll die, you will die, your son's gonna die. And of course, Carol takes this personal. This really upsets her. She's like, kind of gives him a look, and then, he's like, she sits down to him and is like, don't you ever mention my son again. Don't you ever mention him again. You better say something to me, or you better walk out here, you better, some kind of apology. Say something, you sick fuck. She literally says that to him, and Melvin's like, just comes in there, panicky, and he's like, he says, says basically, I'm sorry. She's like, okay, we're good now, let me eat your food. Yeah. But meanwhile, we have a gay subplot here of Skeet Rich and Jamie Kennedy, who, this guy hires them to, Greg Kinnear's character in this film, he's also a painter. He paints people. And, they hire, Skeet Rich, Billy, I'm gonna call him Billy. The guy comes in, tries to do all these poses for him, which I can't care about that, but then until he is able to paint the guy, but eventually this guy and his friends come over without Greg Kinnear knowing yet. But his dog, of course, notices it and starts to bark. He's like, Adele, barking pup, And they try to go see and sees Jamie Kennedy. He's like, what are you doing here? You robbing me? So no, something was like. So one of the guys attack and they beat him up, get him brutally beat him up until Melvin calls the cops. And they say what's happening there, and Melvin, of course, is being a dick to the cops. And, Cuba Gooding Jr. is like, you're gonna watch the dog, you're gonna watch the dog. He's like, and then he's gonna watch the dog. He's had no choice. He's like, okay, I'll watch the dog. And then, he's like, where's the dog at? Although, sorry if I forget the dog's name. Okay, yeah, Simon, after he's insulted, Verdell. The dog's name's Verdell. Of course, Verdell was just kind of like sitting there, like just walking past him. I was like, we don't want dog food here. We don't need dog food here. So I get him some bacon, and then he comes over to sing this song. Always look on the bright side of life. And of course the dog eats. And throughout the movie, because of Simon's injury being beaten up real bad, it paid a lot of money. So of course he's losing money. He's going to be losing his apartment because of what this happened to him. And meanwhile, it's for a couple of weeks where Melvin is watching the dog, and there's some cute moments between him and the dog. Like in the poster when he's holding the dog up, he does that in the scene. And the dog even starts, avoiding cracks too, like him. And there was some adorable moments there between him and the dog. And so Cuba Gooding Jr. tells him, that he's back from the hospital and that he wants his dog back right away. He's like, okay. And then Melvin just cries there for a minute. Because, the moment, what it meant to me when he was crying, though, was like I said, Melvin is a guy that really, like Greg Kinnear, his son was what, he doesn't love anyone or anything. But, this is the first time he's felt love, even though it's for a dog, because dogs are his best friend. And, when Verdell has to leave, he starts to cry because, I think this is the first time feeling love. In a way, I'm trying to explain it right with this character, and is upset, and it's like Verdell has become his best friend. He doesn't want to. He's gonna miss his best friend. I think that's why he's crying. But that's just the way I see it. I know that's a little weird, but that's just the way I see it personally. And even though Simon comes back home in a wheelchair, the dog just begins to ignore him because he misses Melvin, and he kind of snaps on his dog a little bit. I'm sorry, but when they're trying to tell him that he needs to call his parents, but he doesn't want to call his parents because we do get the backstory later about him and his parents. And of course he goes to visit Melvin. Melvin comes to walk the dog once in a while. He's like, just leave, Melvin. Get out. He's like, get out. He doesn't get out. He's like, right in hell, Melvin. And he's going to punch him out at first. He's like, I can't even feel alive anymore. I can't pay no more. My life is over. So, and at least you're getting joy out of it, Melvin. And it's like, Verdell won't even talk, come to me. My dog won't even come to me anymore. And he's gonna tells Carol about the bacon. When he's like, you gotta use the bacon. Oh yeah, the moments between him and Carol in the movie. Also, after what he said about her son, he begins to talk to her. Like, how old are you? And they have this little chemistry going on. And like I said, with her son being sick, she tries to go on a date with this guy. They're about to they're making out for a while, but the guy leaves due to her son being too sick. And because it's too much reality for him. Let's just say it was kind of a weird moment though when this guy was trying to make out with her. I mean, Helen Hunt's a beautiful woman, who could blame him, but, I'm like thinking, it's a first date, dude, and you're trying to go on the second base real quick. But nothing happens. And, Melvin's wondering where Carol is at when he goes back to the restaurant, and she's not there, so he loses his temper. He's like thinking, give me Carol now! And of course, I think Shane Black's in this movie. I know that has to be Shane Black. Let me see. Sorry, I'm just curious. Shane Black in this film? Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that Shane Black, who was the restaurant owner. But when he loses his temper in the restaurant, on the other waitress, they make him leave. The cops stand up, make him, and he has to go. And he pays this one guy from, I think this actor was from Remember the Titans, that movie starring Denzel Washington. And of course he goes to her house, he sees her son there. He's like, and they kind of get personal, like, why are you in my private home? And then they just have these moments in the movie where they're getting a connection. Because basically, it's two people that are falling in love in this film. They just kind of don't realize that at first. That's just the way I can see that. And she tries to tell her son, don't be like, that. I mean, he tries to do something for her son. I forgot to mention that when he goes to see his psychiatrist, and the psychiatrist says, I'm not seeing you. And I can't do Jack Nicholson. Jack Nicholson is just funny in this movie. I also liked it when he was upset. I'm talking about, I know I go over in my reviews, I'm sorry. And Simon does an interpretation, does an impression of Jack Nicholson. And the dog his head was like, really, Fredo, you like that? Which you were doing the garbage shooting hands. Like, no, Fredo, I'm sorry. Anyway, back to Carol. I liked it that when it was funny when her son was feeling sick and she had taken him to the hospital, and these kids at school are like, Melvin, wait! He's like, shut up, kids! Alright, back in the car. And of course, he has to go talk to his publisher, the book place that he publishes books for them. This one woman was talking, how do you do your books? She's very attracted to Melvin, but Melvin like, oh gosh. And he's like, how do you do your writing? He's like, well, I think of a man, and then I take away everything else from that situation. He's just like, huh? And I thought that moment was funny. Of course, Carol comes to find that Harold Ramis is at her house, and he plays, of course, this doctor to help her son, and she is kind of really thankful for Melvin for doing this. She doesn't know how to really express being thankful. She kind of tries to write a note to him, make a note for him, to thank him, and that it really, what he did is, somewhat changed her life a lot. And I like the moment where she's talking to her mom, where her mom was telling her that they need to get out, and she kind of just yells at her mom, starts cussing, and even apologizes for it. She gives a really good performance here. And she does tell Melvin the next day, would you, to give him those, like, no thanks necessary. And she's like, kind of embarrassed by that moment, because he refused to accept it. Then she reasonably knows, like, you helped change my life. And when he's talking to Cuba Gooding Jr. at the restaurant, that he needs to go meet his parents, well, Greg Kinner So he's giving his parents to get the money for his apartment that he needs. And of course he won't refuse, so he's like, well, if you take him for me, he's like, okay, I'll take you, drive your convertible. And he asks Carol to go. At first she refuses, but then she says, okay. Because like I said, he's approaching being bankrupt and losing his apartment. He wanted to invite Carol to this trip to get away from the awkwardness, so they go on this trip and he puts some music on. And when they first arrive in Baltimore, well, before they get there, he tells them about the history of his parents to Carol, where him and Carol start to become, friends. Because of that, his father, he's painting his mom naked, not in that kind of way, but because he envisions people, and he's really good painter at drawing people, kind of has to envision the moment. And of course, he said that his dad beat him up for it. Melvin tries to interrupt a couple times, and then Carol tells him to shut up. We don't want to hear anything Melvin has to say. Melvin's like, okay. People in this car, I'm going to read some quotes later, but it is funny. And of course, Carol, who's happy now, who's last on his vacation, just wants to go out, but Simon said he can't go out because he has to make a call to his parents. I mean, he's been also trying to call people in the movie to get him money, but so he has an option, and when they're in Baltimore, try to call his parents. So they decide to go to dinner, and they tell Melvin, you have to wear a jacket and a tie, and they don't give him one, but it's been used before, we don't clean it. He's like, okay, I'll go get you one. And then he opens the door to this, he goes to this shop, and, Carol will wait for him at the restaurant, this dress shop. Shop where where men get their ties and stuff. And he's like, I need a tie in that jacket, like right now. I was like, I can't come in, no. And he pays him money. I thought that was a funny moment. He comes say hi to her, and she gonna come walk over to say hi to him. And then I liked it though when this waiter was following her, and then she's like making the waiter follow her. And I thought that was kind of a funny moment. She's like looking at Melvin's like, he's following me. They have a talk. This is a really good scene here where, first he says something to offend her, and she's like, Melvin, that really hurt my feelings for what you just said. You just insulted me. And I don't want to hear it. He's like, pay me a compliment. And he tells her, you make me want to be a better man. And he's trying to say the words up, but he can't. Where she, goes over closer to him, and he's like, hey, what you tell me, I believe it. And there's this moment where they're basically falling in love. And she kisses Melvin, and he's about to, the moment's good, until Melvin says, oh, I brought you here to sleep with have sex with Simon. And she's like, what? He's like, so what? Am I just somebody you can use? Basically something like that. And she abruptly leaves, in anger toward him. And Melvin calls his parents, we'll just leave us with a message. Not Melvin, Simon, Greg Kenner calls his parents. And of course he starts to paint her a little bit. And of course she looks beautiful. I'm not gonna lie. Helena is still a very beautiful woman. And of course, Melvin's upset, kind of drinking a little bit, just drinking water at the bar, talking to this guy. And of course throughout the movie the rest of the time she just is ignoring him. She doesn't want to listen to his apology or anything. But with Carol's help, he's able to do his creativity again, do his painting again, which is good for him. He start his own business back up now. But then he tells his parents the next day that he'll be fine, that he's okay, that he's lifted up, and he's ready to go, But even though Carol's still mad at Melvin, he just put some love song, like, I love you song on. And of course, she's like, I don't want to hear it, I want to listen to it. And then when they get, to New York, he's like, I'll give you a ride, Carol, I'll give you a ride. He's like, no. He's like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I don't be around you anymore because all you do is make me feel bad about myself. You know, she says goodbye to Simon. And he, you know, they go say hi to hi to Verdell, and he's like, Mommy and Daddy, you know, is like, sorry, you know, that moment there. And, you know, Melvin lets him stay in an extra room in his apartment, talking about Simon. And Simon, you know, is like, you know, I love you, Melvin, you know, not that way, more like kind of like, you know, a good friend, kind of way. Yeah, he loves him as a good friend, basically, that's what he's saying, because what he's done for him. Melvin, you know, when Carol calls to apologize, they have a talk for a minute. He's kind of just like, you better come back here and talk to me. And then, you know, until, you know, someone tells him, you're in love with her. You're just in love. You need to go talk to her. Don't sleep on it. You know, sometimes things have to be a little more done, you know. You have to go talk to her. He's like, you know something, I forgot to lock this door. Remember, like I said, with his compulsive disorder, or OCDC, whatever you want to call it, he forgets to lock the door. And he goes to Carol's house and drops in an apartment. They have a talk at first. He's like, I'm just in the apartment, I'm just waiting. And she yells at her boyfriend, like, call me your boyfriend. And they go out there, have a chat, and he sings some of that car song to her. And he tells her why, really great line by Jack Nicholson here, good line. Tells her why he thinks that she's the greatest woman on earth to him. You know, people forget that, and tells her what she's been through with her son, and you know, they kiss. He's like, I know I can do better than that, and then they really start to share a big old kiss, and I'm like, and then at the end they decide, even though they do establish a relationship, even though it's hesitant at first of how it can be, but the film ends with them going to get a bagel or going to get some food. And, you know, before he opens the door, he realizes he's just stepped on crack. You know, remember, like I said, Melvin likes to avoid the crack show. And the film ends with them getting food there at this place, you know, for the night. And that was the ending, and the film just goes dark, you know, and then the credits roll, and that's the end of the movie. Yeah. But, yeah. Sorry if I went and that's the end of As Good As It Gets. I'm sorry if I went everywhere with this review, but I do that. And if I was talking a bit more about the movie, talking a little more about the movie every now and then, because again, I've seen this movie, it's my maybe 4th or 5th time watching this film. And I got my parents to watch it last year. They liked it, they just thought it was a bit too long. But anyway, let me read some quotes from the movie, and then of course, like usual, I'll give my final thoughts and final opinion on the movie. This is New York. This is New York. I'm going to read some quotes. This is New York. If you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. When he throws it right down the garbage chute. As long as you keep your work zipped around me, I don't give a rat crap when or where you shove your show. Are we done being neighbors for now? Love was Simon, you know, knocks out. Mr. Verdell was like, son of a bitch, pansy ass stool pusher. To Simon, well, I work all the time, so never interrupt me, okay? Not if there's a fire, not even if you hear the sound of a thud from my home, and 1 week later, there's a smell coming from there that can only be a decaying human body, and you have to hold a hanky to your face because the stench is so thick that you think you're gonna faint. Even then, don't come knocking. Or it is election night, you're excited, and you want to celebrate because some fudge packer that you date has been elected the first queer president of the United States, and he's going to have you down to Camp David, and you want someone to share the moment with. Even then, don't knock. Not on this door, not for any reason. Do you hear me, sweetheart? You know. I think it's a beautiful day for a walk today. Very nice, very nice. What? Huh? Hey, look at that. Look at him. I've got to give you something. I gotta give you something real good, too. Now, I'm gonna tell you, sure, come on, buddy. Don't be like me. Don't just be like me. You stay just the way you are, because you're a perfect man, and I'm gonna take you home to get something to eat. Yes, I hate the doggy. Yes, I hate the doggy. We're sidewalk in New York, and they'll put it. Then there's also a scene where Melvin, you know, after Verdo leaves, there's to go back to, of course, Simon, where he's surprised up. over a dog, you know. And then, of course, you know, as Melvin's in the patient's waiting room, he's like, what if this is as good as it gets? I'll be quiet. Just let me stay here. No problem. Go get Carol. Get her here. I'm not a prick. You are. I'm not judging. I'm a great customer. This day has been a disaster. I'm not sure if I can handle this too. Nellie, you're a disgrace to depression. Quit worrying. You'll be back on your feet and your knees in time. Never. She's never. Carol, the waitress. Simon, you know, when he just Carol and Simon's like, Carol, the waitress. Simon, the fag. Carol, the next thing I know, she's sitting right there next to me. Well, it's not right to get into details. I got nervous. I screwed up. I said the wrong thing. What if I hadn't? I could be in bed right now with a woman who, if you make her laugh, you got a life. Instead, I'm here with you. No offense, but I'm more pushing the last legal drug. If you ever mention my son again, you will never be able to hear her again. Do you understand me? Give me something you understand, or leave now. Do you understand me, you crazy fuck? You know, I want your life for 1 minute. Where's my biggest problem is someone offering me a free criminal so I can get out of this city. You look great. You look great. When you first came into breakfast, when I first saw you, I thought you were handsome. And then, of course, she spoke when they start to connect at that restaurant in Baltimore. You don't love anything, Mr. Udall. Okay, what do I wash? You ever watch somebody who doesn't know that you're watching them? An old woman sitting on a bus, or a kid going to school, or somebody just waiting, and you see the flash come over them, and you know immediately that has nothing to do with anything eternal, because that hasn't changed. And when you see it, that's just sort of real, that's more alive. I mean, you look at someone long enough, you discover their humanity. Do you miss the tough guy? Well, here I am, sweetheart. Happy to meet you. Pissant mob. How about another ride down the chute? You know, rotten hell, Melvin. You know, when he yells at him. Is this fun for you, huh? You lucky devil. It just keeps getting better and better, don't it? I'm losing my apartment, Melvin, and Frank. He wants me to beg my parents, who haven't called me for help, and I wouldn't, and I don't want to pay anymore. So that life I was trying to live is over. That life is gone, and I'm feeling so damn sorry for myself that it's over to breathe. It's time for you, isn't it, Melvin? The gay neighbor's terrified. Lucky for you, you're here for about the absolute horror of a human being. But you're beautiful, Carol. Your skin, your long neck, the back line of you, your white caveman chiseled on walls. You want to say no to me? You want to say no to me? Because I never felt this crazy right now. Do as I do right now. I almost want to say no. Once you say no, I'm in a free fall here. My dog, the adorable face, don't you know, it looks like, oh, I got it. You were talking about your dog. I thought it was the name of that color man I've been seeing in the whole. Which color was that? Thick mollusk with a bored nose, perfect for smelling trouble and prison food. Oh, now I'm pissed off. I'm really pissed. Oh, don't touch. Shh. Don't touch. Shut up. Don't. You think you can imitate the whole world with your attitude? But you don't intimidate me. I grew up in hell, homeboy. My grandmother had more attitude than you. Police, don't much anymore. Help me. Shh. Help me. Stop it, huh? I saw a battery in your black. I like Simon. I like him. And after that, you are recognizable if you verbally abuse him or so much touch that dog again. Meantime, I'm going to think of some way that you can make it up to him. I hate doing this. I'm an art dealer. Have a nice day. Okay, party. People then talk in meters and shampoo my crotch. But, you know, if the couple look up at Melvin when he says that, he's like, eat up. How much more you got to eat? Appetizers aren't big as your noses, huh? What you doing with the dog? Suckered in, set up, pushed around. You're not worried someone might take it? Well, not until now, for Christ's sake. How old are you? If I was done guess by your eyes, I'd say you were 50. If I wasn't by your eyes, I'd say you were kind. So much for your eyes. But as long as you bring it up age, how old are you? Oh, no, I mean because you brought it up. In other words, now I'm curious if you brought it up. In other words, you're not that ugly. That's not what I'm saying at all. Easy, pal. I can take the compliment, but my knees start knocking when you turn on the charm full blast. I help. If you want to see me, you have to do it this way. You'll make an appointment. Dr. Grant, how can you diagnose someone as an opposable compulsive disorder and then act as though I had some about bargaining then? Sorry. I can't understand what the hell I was saying there. Alright, well, I'm done reading the quotes here. Okay, yeah. But, let me sum up my opinion on this film. But as good as it gets, okay. After watching this movie so many times, 4 or 5 times, I love this film. It's a really good movie. It's definitely, I could say now, one of my favorite movies ever made. I think it's one of the best films out there, one of the best romantic comedy films out there. Before I get to some of the issues I had, though, let me say, James L. Brooks did a fantastic job directing. The writing is really good. The script is really good. The dialogue is really good. Jack Nicholson, Helen Hunt, Greg Kinnear, they all give great performances. Cuba Gooding Jr. Jack Nicholson and Helen Hunt, they deserve to win those Academy Awards. Even if they didn't win those Academy Awards, they still give a great performance in the film. So, because they're both of them can act. He's a great actor, she's a great actress. So, they always can act. Even in Twister, there are moments where, people say Twister can be a silly movie. No, sometimes Twister can be a little serious in there. When with the Helen Hunt's character, wanting to go a little crazy and go up against a tornado, nearly almost commit suicide, and that moment she had with Bill Paxton in the movie, that was good acting. That is when Bill Paxton built from her too. So, she gives a better performance in here. She's good in Twister, but I think I like her performance more in here a bit more. Jack Nicholson is one of his best performances. I mean, he's a great actor. Like I said, I think he's one of the best actors of all time. Cuba Gooding Jr. did a really good job as well. The movie's probably like 2 hours and 18 minutes long, I would say. But the pacing does go by good, and, the story, the performances are really good. Like I said, Jack Nicholson as Melvin, although Melvin, like I said, the guy that has compulsive disorder or OCDC, this is the way I kind of saw it. And there's a guy that's just a jerk. He's basically an asshole when you first meet him. He's the kind of person you won't want to be around or hang around because he's just mean, comes off racist, and offensive. He offends people what he says. But throughout the movie, he, even with the dog, with Ordell, with Verdell, and then falling in love with Carol, and helping Greg, he, in a way, becomes a better person. You can tell that at heart, he's a good person. He's just got that disorder and just is a jerk, thinks everything's about him. But throughout the movie, he becomes a better person, by the end. And Helen Hunt as Carol, she is a waitress. She's got a sick son who has bad asthma. She's trying to take care of her son. She very much loves her son. And, she gave a good performance, And throughout the movie, she herself is falling in love with Melvin, too. Like, she tells him she's handsome, so she's always somewhat been attracted to him, and he to her. They just kind of don't realize it till, like, mid through the movie. There's those moments there between them, and you see that it's growing more, that attraction is growing between them. And I thought they had good chemistry. I really bought the love story between these two. Because the way they were acting throughout this movie, as you can tell, it's just two people that are in love with each other. Just don't want to admit it. They don't admit it really much to the end. And Greg Kinnear, Simon Bishop, okay, first of all, I didn't care about the gay subplot about when Billy Mesquite Rich comes in and takes off his clothes. We don't see a little bit of his ass. I don't want to see that. And he starts taking off his clothes and starts doing these poses, which I didn't care about that. The gay subplot with, the gay man wanting him to pay him. Not offense to anybody who's gay, but me, I just didn't care about the gay subplot and the whole thing with him bothering him. I guess it was a point for Melvin to change, so you had to have that kind of happen in the movie. I think they could do something a little different, but that's just my opinion. The subplot I just didn't care for. It's just not a big issue I have, because I do feel bad for Greg Kinnear, especially the look on his face when after he's beaten. You do feel sorry for him. But I will say, even though, I don't care about some of the gay stuff, unlike the CW, I didn't feel like they were pandering me. I didn't feel like it was being pandered, Okay, Cuba Gooding Jr. doesn't give Greg Kinnear a kiss on the cheek. The gay stuff, I'm sorry, I just don't care about that, but that's just me. I don't care about any of that. That's just something I don't care about. I'm not into that, but, that's just me. But, you know, they don't pander it so much, you know. And they do make jokes in here, so don't be offended by it. Again, this was 1997, so I guess those kind of jokes like queer were kind of around. But, you know, I'm not against anybody in real life who's gay. If you're gay in real life, good for you. You know, that's good. I'm happy for you. But, you know, just in the movie I didn't care about it. But they don't pander so much, you know. It's not like pandering over your head with it, which is good. But like I said, and the movie is kind of long. I do think it's a little too long, but that is a minor issue I have, but I'll let it slip, because like I said, the performances, the story is really so good, you know, and the direction and writing is so good, that it just keeps me watching, you know. It's a film that, hey, like I said, what am I complaining about, because I watched this movie like 3 or 4 times last year, before I even had a job. I'd watched this movie a couple of good times, so that must mean something, right, because I really enjoyed the film. You know, a movie that I enjoy watching, I could watch over and over again. This is definitely one of those movies. You know, despite the running time, the acting is really good, the pacing is really good, the cinematography is nice. I like the way they make New York look like New York and Baltimore. The editing is really good. The cinematography, looks really good. You know, the filming is really good in this film. Also, I forgot to mention the scene where she comes to tell Melvin, you know, when she's walking the rain all over to his house. And of course her breasts are showing, she's like, hides it. And of course, he's going to put the towel on the ground because she's wet, but she grabs the towel from his hands. She's like, I'm not sleeping with you. He's like, I'm sorry, but we're not opening up for the no sexos. So he's not telling her, he's doing this out of kindness. Even though you say that he can do it, Melvin at first you might think he's doing it just to bring her back to work, but he's doing it because he's in love with her. And you want to help people. If you're in love with somebody, you'd probably do anything to help them out. You know, and that's what he's doing. Like you said, they just can't admit it. But when they do admit it, and the ending when he gives that speech to "You're the greatest woman," that was a really good dialogue from Jack Nicholson. It's a really good movie. I don't know what else I'm going to say about it. But I definitely recommend it if you like Jack Nicholson as an actor and you like romantic comedies. I highly recommend this film. It's a good movie. It is a bit long, but the performances, the cast does a great job. This film definitely deserved to win those Academy Awards, in my opinion. So brace yourself for Melvin. That's what you should do, as the tagline says. But as good as it gets, definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Glad I got to review it on my channel. And my rating for this film, despite some of my issues I have with it, those 2 minor issues I have, I'm going to let this slip. And I'm going to give the film 5 out of 5 stars, yes. I think it's a 90s classic, in my opinion. 90s classic romantic comedy film. And I'm going to give it a thumbs up. As good as it gets a thumbs up from me. So I definitely got to get this movie on DVD and Blu-ray, or DVD or Blu-ray someday. Definitely want to. But as good as it gets, great movie in my opinion, great film. It might be a little long, but it's very enjoyable to watch all the way through. So, you know, I think of it as a masterpiece, but that's just my personal opinion. But if you guys hate the movie, that's fine. If anybody didn't like the film or it's not your cup of tea, that's fine. But it is my cup of tea, and I love this film. Great film. If you've seen this movie, guys, what do you think of it? What do you think of it as good as it gets? Do you like it? Do you hate it? And again, 5 out of 5 stars is my rating for the movie, and I'm going to give it a thumbs up. So let me know, guys, in the comments down below, what do you think of this movie? Do you like it or do you hate it? So, and be honest. You be honest. You know. But a good movie. And guys, stay tuned, because hopefully next, maybe today, I think I'll still have time, I'm going to review, next review will be SpongeBob the SquarePants movie. Yes, I'm going to try to review this next. The movie's only about, okay, it's only 87 minutes long, so that's alright. Let me go back to as good as it gets. Yeah. But hopefully stay tuned for SpongeBob. Hopefully I'll review that today. And I might have another video surprise for you guys today. So, of a certain movie that, well, it's its 35th anniversary. And all you gotta do is just drive that DeLorean and go back in time with Doc and Marty and hit 88 miles per hour. You're gonna see some serious shit. So, guys, stay tuned today for a certain special video, maybe today, scene from that movie. So, if you know what I'm talking about. And thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my review as good as it gets. and look forward to my next review, hopefully today, of SpongeBob the SquarePants movie, and another video maybe today as well. You know, a scene from the movie, so that has its anniversary today. So comment down below, tell me what you think of this movie in your opinion. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye. Thanks for watching.